Welcome to Short Film Roundup.
Wow, that is classy. Look.
You like that? Yeah.
That is classy.
Was taking a little stroll around the void and found this.
Wait a second. Dee was wearing that when we got cursed.
Yep. Well, when we got cursed, all our
What is that? That's part of my Halloween costume.
This was part of your guilty. Do you want it back?
Where did you find it?
It was just blowing around in the wind.
Was it hard to see because it's black? And, this is all black.
Yep.
It's black on
Yep.
black.
Welcome.
Hi, welcome to Short Film Roundup, the only place on the internet where you can see 3 cursed filmmakers reviewing user-submitted short films.
We are eternally cursed in this place of blackness.
Thanks, Payman.
So,
Freaking jerk.
yeah.
Hey, Adam Noyes.
What?
He submitted today's film.
Oh, yeah, we're
That's
not there
awesome.
yet, though.
Yeah, but he's in Film Alchemist. And
He
that's
is.
what we have to talk about next. That's
He
why I
is.
brought it up.
So, what is Film Alchemist?
Film Alchemist. Taylor, tell us.
Film Alchemist is the place to go if you want to have some in-depth philosophical discussion about filmmaking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of other filmmakers like Adam Noyes who are in the group, and they give their opinions and thoughts and theories on things, and we have a nice chat.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we all learn together. There's live streams. It's all good
I'll
fun.
bet we even talk about feature films in there.
Yeah, we talk about feature films live.
I'll bet we even interview filmmakers.
We interview filmmakers.
We interview filmmakers.
Yep.
Live.
Wow, live?
Live.
Yeah, it is off the hook.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Everything you've seen up to this point has been on the hook.
Right.
And I challenge you to
there is
experience off the hook.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
never go back.
Not gonna lie, YouTube's kind of going to shit. So
Facebook.
Facebook,
Facebook's
too
going
big
up.
to fail.
Yeah, I'm done with this hat. You want to wear it?
Yep.
Yeah, all yours.
Thank you.
Kind of made my head hot.
Feels a little weird to
Have
me.
a mohawk under there in case you didn't know.
When'd you get a mohawk?
Hold on.
Welcome
Watch
to Short
this.
Film Roundup.
You're not doing it right.
Fuck.
That's
Hold on. Watch this.
You're still not doing it right.
he's doing it right. Yes. Damn, boy.
You can have it back.
So if you want...
Join us at Film Alchemist, and if you want to send
Yeah.
a short film to Short Film Roundup, click the link in the description below. Now let's dissect this movie.
Yes. That. Oh, I can't do it now.
Yeah, so you gotta find the right place.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Uh-oh. Oh! This man has fedora skills.
That
Don't
was
say that.
classy.
You do.
Don't say
You
that.
got fedora skills.
That was classy.
Okay, so let's talk about Adam's film. It's called Some Terrible Grief. Kenny,
Yes.
get us started, dude.
Okay. So, first of all, mad props for taking on a film that's so heavily reliant on dialogue and performance. As short films go, that's one of the most challenging types to tackle.
Absolutely.
It really is. So my first objection to this
Those
movie
good ghosts.
came in the opening seconds, and it was these swings. These swings swinging without anyone in it. And mainly the thing that bugged me about it was I once did this where I was shooting a playground and I was like, oh, it's so boring. The swings should be moving. And I ran out there and pushed the swings and then got back behind my camera and started and was like, yeah, that looks so much more dynamic. Anyway, I don't know why you have those swings going, but
They seem pretty.
it didn't have anything to do with your story.
I didn't mind it, but as soon as it's because you said it looked like ghosts were swinging
Yeah,
on
there's
it.
ghost children in those swings.
Now that's all I imagine. It
Yeah.
just looks funny.
Anyway, I like the title reveal here.
I
I
do
thought that
too.
looked cool.
And I like your film by Adam Noyes in the corner.
What-
Nice
what's
dog.
the, what's the little seal there?
That's the official seal of approval. Long Island, New York, Five
College?
Five Towns College.
Towns College. Is this a student film?
Hmm.
All right, now back to the movie.
Good font.
I believe the most challenging task in film making is writing believable dialogue.
Absolutely.
I even rose this point in Film Alchemist once.
Yeah.
And got some serious flack for it from people who thought it was easy. I defy all of them. I challenge them to send me some dialogue they've written. I'm telling you, it is really hard to get right.
It's pretty tough.
And if there was one major weakness in this film, I think it was the dialogue. Your character said the right things, but it all sounded very stagey. very scripted,
It really
very
did, yeah.
exposition heavy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get away from that when you're writing, because this is the way we write books, it's the way we write papers.
Right.
But when we write dialogue that someone has to say out loud, it's really hard to make it sound like the way people actually talk.
Yeah.
Now, one can also nitpick the performances of these two. At times good, at times bad. But there is a very blurry line between where bad dialogue ends and bad acting begins.
I would say the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't really.
They definitely poured their all into
Absolutely.
this,
It seemed like it,
especially
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Like, she's definitely trying.
She's trying. Yeah.
And so you got to give her props for that.
Definitely. Yeah.
It doesn't come across as real. And that could be part performance, part dialogue. I'd put more of the blame on the writing.
I guess it depends on how the director directs the movie, because sometimes directors will well, not all directors write their movies, but sometimes the script will call for something. The director will say, okay, try to take this and just use it as a stepping off point, and just kind of not what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? You just act on your own will.
Improv?
Yeah. Not completely improv, but there's a hint of that in there.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff really does give a sense of realism to the performance. But this felt like they were trying to say exact lines that were memorized.
In our Film Alchemists post, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Max who mentioned he would record improv sessions.
Oh, yeah.
And then transpose that into script as a technique to get written dialogue down. And I thought that was a really cool idea.
There's a lot of techniques, but either way, I think you want to run your dialogue through several human filters, whether that be yourself reading it out, having actors read it, do table reads, listen to recordings. On the performance side, one of the things that was definitely happening here was that sensation of characters taking turns speaking, where you can tell one person is waiting to say a line until the person they're speaking to finishes saying theirs, whereas in a natural flowing conversation, statements tend to flow over the top of one another, which didn't happen here.
It didn't. Yeah, I was thinking about that actually when we awarded one film. Was the film that we gave the award to for best writing or best acting? It was best performances.
It was like the first date one. It was like first Kiss and Tell or something.
Kiss and Tell. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
In Kiss and Tell, there was this kind of dialogue that was happening where one person would talk and you felt like the other person was feeding off of them, right? So you gave lines, or one person gave lines, the other person listened, processed, and then gave a response. Like, they really felt like they were building off of each other. And this one, like you said, Kenny, felt like they were just saying one line after another, especially the dinner table scene here. And I want to say part of that was from the editing.
Because we don't see a lot of reaction shots.
We don't. Yeah, there's not a lot of L cuts or J cuts, and there's a lot of I said my line, wait, cut, wait, say your line, cut, say your line. Yeah.
The other thing is, based on the opening and concluding shots of this movie, I interpret this as being the story of the son. The son's experience of what's happening. He's the lens through which the experience is coming through.
I'd like to think that.
Or at least that was the intention, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That being the case, I feel like we spent a lot of time going round and round with this couple saying mostly the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
When they'd the meat of their problem had been kind of hashed out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I think we could have moved on.
You're talking about when we got to the end of the argument?
Yeah.
Where she's basically asking him, does he love you? And what do we do now? Kind of thing.
We should have got to that quicker.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
Oh, okay.
the bigger problem with like this dragging on and on conversation is that I feel like they began to contradict themselves, and it made it sort of a little confusing as to really what was going on here. Because it started off with him basically being like, "This is who I am, and this is what's happening," right? Like this is just facts.
Yeah,
I'm gay. I'm leaving, sort of thing. And then later he's like, I forget the words he used, but he basically said, "I'm sorry. I tore our family apart because of some like infatuation."
he did
Like
say
he
that,
like
yeah.
he like belittled it, like, oh, it was just like a infatuation, right? Which seemed contrary to the
It
sort
does
of
seem
place
that
he
way.
was coming from before that.
Yeah. I want to say that. So I like the idea that it was supposed to be from the view of the kid. Him.
He's the first one we see. Then we see him eavesdropping, literally.
Yeah, and then cut to the
it
conversation.
ends with him sort of thinking about it.
Yeah. I feel like the film didn't have any story because of that. Because we didn't have any.
No, it's a slice of life
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, it was like this could have been just called an argument, right? And just chop off the bits with the kid in it, and we just have an argument. And that's all it felt like. It didn't feel like we were building up to anything.
It didn't go
There was
anywhere. It
any-
didn't say anything.
Yeah, it didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was opportunities to do that with him, with him and his dog. And I like the idea that he has an emotional arc in here. That he comes in kind of curious, he listens, he gets, anxiety, and then he leaves because he's angry. Like that's an interesting, little emotional arc going on there.
It's more interesting than the argument.
Yeah.
And to hear all that intense argument like from your bedroom,
Right.
like above, through the walls,
Right.
right?
There's a stupid commercial that does kind of the same thing, but it works, and it's really cheesy. It's one that has been memeified by now. The one where there's two parents arguing over pizza being ordered. Do either of you guys know this?
Keep going.
There's a kid who's sitting on the stairs, and he's listening to his parents, but the whole thing is shot as one shot looking at the kid, and we see like the shadows of the parents coming over every now and then, and the father is just like, "What is this, pizza?" And the mom's like, "What? I didn't know you were gonna be home." And then they're just like fighting, and just like gets really violent and everything. It's really funny.
This is a commercial?
Yeah, it's a commercial. It's for like, I can't remember what it's for. I think it's for anti-domestic abuse or something.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
It's
a
not like the
pizza
Pizza Hut or
That's
anything.
what I
no.
thought.
No,
I thought it was a
no.
pizza
What?
ad.
Sorry, I should
This
have.
is a heavy pizza.
I meant like PSA, not
Pizza Hut. Destroying one family at a time.
In fact, the reason why it got memeified was because it was such a clearly emotional, like trying to hit a very strong emotional chord. But it makes sense because you're staring at the kid the whole time and you're seeing his perspective of everything. And I feel like that's something they could have done here was follow his perspective instead of looking at the
Yeah,
argument.
so that's what I mean. It felt like this was meant to be about him,
Yeah,
but we spent all of our time with them,
right.
right?
And even afterwards, he leaves, and we're
Yeah,
still
and we
there.
follow him.
Yeah.
We follow him out. We follow him out.
Well,
We follow him out.
We see him leave, though, is what I mean.
Yeah.
We see him leave, follow him a little bit, then come back to the conversation
Oh,
while he's
yeah.
gone, And now we have this whole conversation with them, and then she says the title of the movie. And that,
She's very wise. She's
very
filled with wisdom. She's like, well, if you're gonna leave me, you better hope he loves you, because if not, you're in for some terrible grief. Wise, wisdom, sage.
To say something that I liked a lot about this movie is
Please.
the look of the film. I really, really liked the bloomy, overexposed look.
interesting.
I
Did
like
you?
that.
Did you like that?
Not for every single shot, but for like the shots where the teenager comes through the door at
Yeah.
the beginning and like the entire outside is just blown like that. Like I love that look.
I hate bloom effect.
Yeah, I usually do too.
Yeah.
But something about it here made it feel very homey.
I thought, okay, so
Yeah.
I actually
This
didn't feel
felt like
that way.
a coffee commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the overexposed bloom look is I do like how it worked in here. Like I thought it worked. I'm just not a fan of that look. But the lighting otherwise is just really, really good.
It's very naturalistic.
Yeah, extremely natural. I love this shot.
Yeah, that's a great
Absolutely
shot.
love that shot. Even where it's framed with the door frames to make it 4x3, that's really cool.
You know what? The cinematography in general is pretty serviceable. Like, it's all good. There's not a lot of
there's nothing
unnecessary. Unmotivated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hit their basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the editing was
good on you,
meant, but
Adam.
Anything else we got?
Psh, how hard is it to get a dog to cooperate in your movie? Right?
It's insane.
Huge accomplishment. This is the time we ask questions to the filmmaker. That's you, Adam.
No, that's not you, Adam, yet. Because we're not there yet.
Yeah, it is this time.
No, we're still talking to the other people.
I don't think so.
So other people, if you have questions, other people,
Okay.
people that are not Adam,
like us.
yes.
Oh,
So if you have questions that you want to ask Adam, please ask them in the comments.
yeah.
Comment your question and cover things that we didn't cover because we're dumb.
Speak for yourself, dummy.
Yes, I'm dumb.
D. Oh, come now.
Oh, okay.
You
Sorry.
have a college degree.
Kenny's dumb.
D went to the city, got a big fancy degree.
I did, yeah.
You did.
And I'm smart.
He's a book smart.
I'm book smart.
He's a book smart. Me and Taylor are street smart. We're streetwise.
So if you have questions, please ask them. So Adam, this is now to you specifically. Taylor, what's your question?
Who are your filmmaking influences? And also, is grounded drama your wheelhouse? I know our next episode we're covering another one of your films, and we haven't watched it yet, so it'll be interesting to compare if the styles are different or similar. And what was your inspiration to make this? Like, why did you choose to tell this story or go into this situation and depict that through actors and film and all that stuff?
Yeah, just take all the questions.
Huh. Shouldn't ask me to go first then, huh? Whoever goes first always asks the why
That's
question.
the why question, yeah.
Darn it.
Darn. What font is that?
In the beginning?
No.
Yeah.
You got questions, Kenny?
I'm waiting. I'm last.
Oh,
I want to see.
you're
I
last.
want to let you guys ask all the questions first.
Okay.
And I'll get creative.
So I want to know if there was a specific idea for the bloom effect, if there was a reason why you had that in there, or you just like, it was overexposed, so let's make a bloom. It looks really nice either way. And also, how did you go about your casting?
So I was gonna ask.
I didn't see a casting director credit. Oh, yep, there's casting right there. But I want to know how you were involved, Adam, throughout the casting. If you specifically went through and worked with people, if you had any, what's the word called when you practice?
Dang
Rehearsal.
it, shut up, man.
Rehearsal.
That was my next question.
Did you have any rehearsals specifically for this kinds of actions you were having here? Those are my questions.
What kind of catering did you have on set? Did you do donuts?
Do donuts? I
Pizza?
bet you did donuts.
What kind of coffee was in those mugs there?
I bet it was Folgers.
Oh, hey, actually,
This totally had a coffee commercial.
that's a good question. It really did. That's funny. It does look like a
Because he
Folgers
comes in
commercial.
from the cold. They're both drinking coffee.
Dude, okay, so look how steaming that is.
I know. I noticed that throughout the whole movie. I'm like, dude, the steam looks great.
Her hands have to be really hot.
That's where the anger and emotion's coming from. She's like, my hands are scalding. And the director's like, yeah, channel that. Turn that into your anger.
Did you have any real questions?
How much rehearsals did you do?
That's the same question.
Is it though?
Okay.
I believe in you. You can do this.
Yeah. I can ask one. I can do it. It's right there. It's
We can come back to you.
We can come back. Yeah.
No. I got it. It's
We can like
Well,
we'll,
we can edit this.
Oh
out.
no, I
edit
got
this
it.
out.
It's I got nothing.
Okay.
Thank you for submitting your film,
That's not a
Adam.
question.
Thank you for submitting your film, Adam. We enjoyed watching it. We
I think
you're
you-
cool.
That. But I think what you're trying to say is, thank you for submitting your film.
Have you guys ever
Adam.
seen Eraserhead?
Adam.
Oh! Whoa, it's Eraserhead. Get a joke.
I'm sorry, Adam.